Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Around the Emirates podcast with Sara Mousa, where I speak to guests from across the UAE about topics you want to hear about. Today, I'm joined by the amazing Charral. Hi, Charral.
Hi, Sarah.
It's so good to have you on the show today. I'm super excited to talk to you all about your amazing book, The Marketing Movement, which is a powerful voice on how marketing is evolving into a people powered leadership discipline. Please, Charral, tell me your story and what inspired you to write this book.
Oh, well, to be honest, Sarah, this book has been in me for a long time. I mean, I've been in the profession for 25 years, and I think I've always felt that I've always felt that marketing is misunderstood. And a couple of years ago, it just stuck with me that I need to say something. I need to say something different, for it to be understood. And 2 years ago, I took myself to Sintra in Portugal. And I sat down a self-made writers retreat and thought, okay, let me see what do I want to do? What do I want to say? And I walked away with an outline that I thought, yeah, I think I can commit to this. And it took me about a year and a half, and then I was able to publish my book.
Wow, that's amazing. And obviously taking something as much as, 20 plus years in the sector, you're one of the obviously most well-positioned people to write a book on this topic. What kind of challenges came within the process of actually kind of creating the book itself?
Well, it's interesting because when you start to write a book, you go into this author space. Obviously, you're not an author yet, but it's like you're creating a product and you're obsessed with every detail. And you're kind of in you're tackling details and chapters that you throw out that you keep. You do all of that. And you've got to keep stepping away. So I think one of the things I noticed was, and that's the same thing in marketing as a profession, you've got to step away sometimes so you can see things clearly. So for me, there was a lot of doing that. It took double the time, so a year and a half, and I thought it was going to take 6 months. So it shows you how there's a learning process when it comes to doing something like this, and you evolve and change your mind quite a bit.
Wow. So let's kind of dive deeper into the book here. I know there's a kind of a couple of frameworks that you've mentioned in the book. What are the kind of high level like summaries of the book as you take us through it?
So I was able to describe the book once I had finished it, and that's that it's a change leadership book for the marketing profession. I think when I started writing, I probably went to into the middle. As you do, you start somewhere. And eventually I realized that what I was trying to do was create a sequence and explain to organizations in general and to the marketing profession how you shape the conditions for marketing leadership. And so I actually put the frameworks in at the end. So the book does start with the frameworks. It's called the SHAPE framework, which is basically strategy, heart, activation, a purpose, and execution. And at the end of the book, I introduce a movement readiness index. So it's not about being smart in marketing. It's really, are you able to move? Are you ready to do what you need to do? I find that organizations are good at operations, good at execution, but nobody really gives enough time to activating, to getting ready to be on the track. And it seems to be universal because it's not just frustrations I've seen throughout my career. I've heard my peers say that. So I have tackled that as a pain point, as bottlenecks in the book. I've used storytelling metaphors, and then I've packaged it in the framework and the index.
I love that you've proactively done something like this that you didn't have to do, but you wanted to do out of your passion for the sector. And it's so inspiring to see women like you that want to teach others in a very concise and digestible way. Like the fact that it's like, the shape framework, like, we're all going to go away from this episode remembering that. And it's just really cool that you're able to think ahead, like not just as an author, but also you put yourself in the shoes of the reader and thought about what would be the best way for them to digest this information.
I was just going to say, they say that you write the book that you needed, and I didn't find a book like this out there, so I think I was probably also organizing my thoughts.
I love that. It's so important for you to kind of be in tune with your thoughts as well as what the market would expect from a book like this. And this kind of leads me to my next question for you, Sherelle. What would you feel was an inspiring or aha or like kind of inspiring moment or surprising moment that happened to you in this process?
Um, I think I stepped into being a product creator or product developer, if you like, when I was writing the book. So it was like I was walking in someone else's shoes because I'm usually running a marketing department and the products are, we're ready to promote them. And I think stepping into someone else's shoes, I could see how you have your blinkers on, you're so consumed with what you're doing here that you haven't even thought about the fact that, okay, is this product ready to go to market? How will it be received? Because that's usually someone else's job. So it was interesting for me to step into someone else's shoes and go, okay, I can see how we all have these different perspectives in a big team, and we need to be talking more to one another, and in plain English so that we can see the different angles.
I love the what you just said about in plain English. It's so important for you to really show and share technical frameworks and share technical expertise without overwhelming your audience. And I think that's something that a lot of people out there who are aspiring to write books or trying to write books, I think they struggle with that. And this leads me to my final question for you today, Charral. If you had one word of advice you wanted to give aspiring writers, what would you say?
Less is more. Definitely less is more. And maybe one more thing, and that is that, if you want to do something that is worthwhile, it takes time. There are no shortcuts.
I love that. That is beautiful. It's what I really appreciate about the way that you speak is that you speak with using little like few words yourself, but what you say has such impact. And I feel like it makes the listener want to know more about what you're saying because what you're saying is not fluff, but it's actually something that will change the course of how they think. And I really appreciate the time that you've taken to talk to me about this today.
Definitely, Sarah. Thank you.